The following program may contain coarse language and may deal with subject matter that may not be suitable for a younger audience. Listener discretion is advised. Hello and welcome back to Weird Careers. I'm Eric.
And I'm Steve.
All around the globe, yes, it is round, people get up and head to work.
And some of those destinations stray from the norm of careers.
Everything from set decorators to succulent growers and everything in between.
Our mission is to take a deep dive on the job itself and the people in the industry about how they got there, what they do, and more.
So please join us as we take a journey around the globe and explore these weird careers. If you think that you or someone you know has a weird or interesting job, stick around to find out how you can contact us and support the show. So sit back, relax, and be prepared to learn some cool shit. On today's episode, we have Andy, who is a stand-up comedian from Richland City, Indiana, from the United States of America. Andy, welcome to the show.
Hey, great to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, welcome. Nice having you.
It's great to have you on. Stumbled across your content on Facebook, I think it was just a couple of weeks ago, and so really excited that we could get this put together as quickly as we did. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Outside of making people laugh for a living, tell us a little bit about yourself outside of the gig.
I'm a husband. I'm a father of a little beautiful 5-year-old girl.
Nice.
Named Diana. And
Hey.
I have a dog, and we live in this little bitty town of about 400 people.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, the little villages are the best. Everybody knows everybody.
Mhm.
Do you would you prefer now living in a smaller town, or are you gravitating more towards a bigger city living?
I did big city living for. I lived in Evansville, Indiana, which is the third largest city in Indiana, for
Okay.
14 years.
Okay.
So I
Nice.
lived here, went to Evansville, and then came back because, the big city and all that traffic it's not for me.
Oh, that's fair. I just
Yep,
moved
get that.
back to London. I live in London, Ontario. I just moved back here from just a small little town outside of Niagara Falls, and I miss it. I miss the smaller communities. It's so tight knit and wonderful, and it's lovely, and I love it.
Yeah, I find it's always nice to visit the smaller towns, when you're out and about. I've never really lived in a small town. I grew up in Windsor, Ontario,
Steve,
which is
you did the Canadian
a third of the
thing.
size of London.
You said you were out and
What's
about.
Oh, yeah.
I never thought I'd actually hear that in a thing. We have to keep that, whether it's in a blooper or it stays in this episode. We have to keep it. That's hilarious.
Keep it in. Why not?
Oh, that's awesome.
So, Andy, in 100 words or less, what is it that you do for a living?
I'm a stand-up comedian that doesn't actually stand up. I perform comedy from a wheelchair. So
Nice.
yeah.
Not so stand-up comedy.
Yeah. So I've been doing that for a while, and when you first start out, you don't really get paid a whole lot. Drinks, cold mozzarella sticks,
Yep.
That kind of stuff. But now I'm really getting into the part where you're negotiating money. You're negotiating, is it worth the time to go the distance for what
Yep.
they're willing to pay, and all that kind of stuff. So it gets a little bit more complicated.
Of course, like any developing business would, the more you get out of it, the more you have to start putting into it, and vice versa.
Yeah, exactly.
So going back to how you started, with the cold mozzarella sticks, what sparked your interest to do stand-up comedy, and what was it that pushed you to pursue it as a career?
So I saw Chris Fonseca at a comedy club here in town. We used to have a Funny Bone chain in our area. It's not there anymore, but
Mm.
We went there. I saw him. He's got cerebral palsy. And then Last Comic Standing was a big show back in the early 2000s.
Yep.
And Josh Blue, who is also from the Colorado area, won the show. And I was like, well, if these two guys can do it, I need to, I need to figure out what goes into this. And then just so happened I was at a minor league hockey game in my area. And my friend's like, well, I got tickets to this comedy club. You should go. And so I did. Found out about their open mics, and I was like, these guys aren't funny. I bet I can be funny than that. Because they say comedy's subjective. So what I find funny and what you guys find funny is probably two different things.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
But so I started going, developing it, and then the club got shut down. We actually don't have a club in our area anymore, so it's mostly trying to find bars that'll do it, or VFW halls, Veterans of Foreign Wars halls, or American Legion halls, or non-for-profits, or just different places that may want to try it. So, I mean, Louisville, Kentucky is about an hour and a half from me, so that's the closest place I have to some bigger city that actually has some club chains and that kind of stuff.
Right.
I've built a reputation down there, but you're talking driving an hour and a half one way, not really getting paid anything other than the experience of doing it, and then getting in the car and driving an hour and a half back.
Yeah, you kind of have to weigh your options that way.
Do you find that living in a smaller community has presented any challenges for developing your career?
Yeah, I mean, people call places like where I live at a comedy desert because there's not many places in my immediate area. So it does kind of hinder it a little bit. I figure I would be further if I lived in a bigger city probably and had opportunities to get on stage every single night. But I mean, that's the give and the take of where you decide to live.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd imagine it'd be a little bit harder in like the smaller town kind of area to I guess like grow a career like a little bit faster, like I guess at all kind of thing. Like it's just the opportunities are fewer and far between. Like you said earlier, making the time to make those drives and the commutes for the bigger events and stadiums.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, in this area, I would like to think that there's a lot of comedians in my area, and I would like to think I'm top 5, not tooting my own horn or anything like that, because I always hate to do that. I always try to be humble. Somebody told me one time, you may not be the funniest person in the room, but you can be the nicest person in the room. And that's what I always try to do, because, because it pays it. I mean, you're going to get a lot further being nice to somebody than being a jerk.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
What did it look like to get started? And did you face any kind of challenges as an artist?
Just kind of going to open mics, developing material, making sure I didn't sound too much like somebody else I was trying to imitate. Because a lot of times when anybody gets started, whether you're a musician, a comedian, whatever, you try to imitate who you think is funny.
Yep. Yeah. And you take on your inspirations. And
that's the hardest thing to do, is try to break away from that and try to create your own kind of persona, so to speak.
Yep.
So in your early days of writing your material, was there a lot of stuff that was scrapped? Who did you pitch it to? And like, what does that process look like?
I had some stuff that was just like way too dark that my wife was like, no, people will punch you. And I'm like, I've got glasses and I'm in a wheelchair. Do you really think they'll punch me? But there's a certain line you don't want to cross. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's certain things that if you can joke about it and be clever about it, cool. But if you're just trying to be crass, then it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't want to punch down kind of thing, right?
Yeah, right. So, there's a lot of stuff that I wrote when I first started that maybe the wording wasn't right, or maybe the punchline just wasn't there. Maybe I didn't have an inflection in a certain word in a certain place.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes how you say a word can be funny.
Yep.
I
Oh,
mean,
100%.
that's why that's why he was saying some there's certain phrases that you guys use up in Canada that we Americans just think are hilarious.
Out and about.
Yeah. And there's stuff that I'm sure we say that those guys are, morons or whatever.
Every culture has jokes about different cultures, and that's
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Kentucky's pretty close to me. Like, I'm on the border of Indiana and Kentucky, and the
Mhm.
joke is that everybody in Kentucky is a little bit dumber than the people in Indiana. Well, I got to be careful with that because my wife is from Kentucky. So, yeah,
That makes that a little bit challenging.
it does. Yeah.
So testing out those jokes, was that something that you would do like with friends and family? Was it like failed attempts at clubs? Like how'd that look?
I mean, there's sometimes where you just got to go and bomb.
Yeah.
It really humbles you. If you're doing the same material over and over again, you're not. I mean, sure, you're practicing timing, you're practicing cadence, you're practicing where the punchline needs to be. Um, but you can only do that so much until you just need to start writing other stuff or writing new things that
Hmm.
kind of attach to what you have, that kind of stretch it out if you have more time on stage, kind of thing. So, yeah, there's times I've gotten up and tried some stuff and it fell flat. I mean, it happens.
When you realize that a joke doesn't land, is it, the room is quiet, or
Mhm.
it's a reaction that you didn't expect? Is it more one than the other, or more of a combination of the two?
Well, sometimes you'll get a gasp and somebody, sometimes that's
Mm.
funnier than a laugh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
He just said that?
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, he can speak for himself. Somebody, I still get that when I go out to places. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's just like any other, disability. It's a spectrum,
Mm, yeah.
right? And
Yep.
one person's version of cerebral palsy is not going to look the exact same as somebody else with cerebral palsy.
No, it's as unique as the person that has it.
Exactly.
So,
Absolutely. And I have such admiration for you that you can use that in your comedy,
mhm.
that you don't shy away from your disability in your comedy, that you embrace it. And I absolutely love that.
I mean,
Yep.
I've had it for almost 47 years now, and I think it's silly. The government makes me requalify for my disability benefits every year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Like every 3 years,
That'll-
they make me go in and go, gotten any better? Nope.
Nope.
But I just get a golden ticket. We're wasting my time. We're wasting your time. We're wasting government
Yep.
resources. They don't care. It's the same system they've had for years, and who knows
Yep.
if they're ever going to change it.
Well, I mean, you would think that if it was broke, it would fix it, but they
Yeah.
obviously have the saying backwards.
Yeah, that's the other thing I try not to joke about too much is the political climate in the United States right now is so
Yeah, it's too divided.
Absolutely.
it's too divided. It's too much of a hot button issue that if I do joke about
Absolutely.
it, it's very boom and then I move on kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, look at even people as big as Jimmy Kimmel, for example.
Yeah.
Says the wrong joke at the wrong time,
Mhm.
and or like Stephen Colbert.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But anyways,
Yeah.
those are jokes that we don't touch. Your favorite jokes. Obviously, you've got a slew of those. Do you have like one favorite joke in particular?
Yeah, so I sent you guys my 5-minute clip that's kind of private on YouTube that I don't let a lot of people see, because that
Hilarious, by the
won me
way.
runner up at that club. This was back in 2020 when the world was supposed to be shut down, and this club decided to do this contest, and I didn't want to do it, and my friend was like, "I'll pay your entrance fee," and my other friend was like, "I'll pay your hotel," and I was like, "I guess I'm doing it." So
Here we go.
yeah, and I ended up getting runner up out of like 50 comedians.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think Dave Chappelle has actually bought the building at this point. I'm not sure exactly what he's
wow.
going to be doing with it, but
There
that's
you go.
what's been told, and so who knows? But yeah, one of my favorite jokes is in that clip where I talk about the highway to hell, stairway to heaven.
Yep.
Yeah, and
That's a good one.
some people don't like that because I'm poking fun at religion a little bit, but it's kind of one of those things where I touch on it and then I kind of move on, kind of thing.
Absolutely. When
Yeah.
in this
Yeah, a little bit of
Yeah.
sprinkling on it.
exactly, right? You know, a little bit of this for this person, you know, like you said, you know, comedies, everyone's got a different taste, right? So you
Yeah.
have to try and
Yep.
appease to the different crowds, and sometimes, you know, you've got a darker crowd than others.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
your audience, as somebody who does community theater, your audience varies from night to night.
I mean, there's a reason that I only have that clip. I think there's one from the Improv in Orlando that's public that you can see that's like 8 or 9 minutes. And then I have another private one that's like 15 minutes that I had done maybe like a year ago. So I'm very particular about what I put out there.
Absolutely,
Yep.
for sure.
Because if you can watch it online, why would you want to come see me live?
100%. And I'll be
Yep.
honest, that's I was, you know, online, you know, doing some research for this episode, and I was looking for your content, and I was like, I can't. And for someone who's been doing this for 10 years, I really can't find a lot of content. But the ways,
Yeah.
but your reasoning behind it, that makes perfect sense. You want people to come out and see your
but at
stuff.
the same time, it's a double-edged sword in this day and age
Mm.
because everybody is
Yeah.
marketing themselves with these short clips, and
Yep.
so it does kind of work against me a little bit because there's not a lot out there for people to see. So therefore, they're like, "Oh, he must not be very good if he doesn't have a lot of stuff out there."
Contrary to that popular opinion, Mr. Andy Imlay is absolutely fucking hilarious, and we'll make
Yep.
sure to have all of those socials and everything listed in the podcast description below to wherever you're listening to right now. But before we bust a gut getting into all of the details of being a stand-up comedian, we're going to take a moment for you to hit pause, take a pee break, or make a coffee, which is what I will be doing, or whatever it is that you need to do. So don't turn that dial. We will be right back. Narrated by Justin Plaxton, this 3-hour Audible experience is deeply personal, beautifully performed, and currently rated 5 stars. If you or someone you love has ever struggled with mental health, this story matters. Psychosis and the Journey Home isn't just a book. It's a reminder that even in our darkest moments, healing is possible, and we are never truly alone. You can find it now on Audible.
Hi, I'm Andy Imlay, a stand-up comedian from Richland City, Indiana, and you're listening to Weird Careers with Eric and Steve.
Weird Careers has been playing in your ears now for over 5 years, and we will continue to bring you high-quality content for the years to come. It takes a lot of time and resources to create a show like Weird Careers, booking guests, hours of editing, and even more time prepping. To continue to bring this show to you for free, we have added a subscription service to those who are able. With Buy Me a Coffee, you get ad-free, early episodes, participation in live recordings, and more. All for $9 a month or $80 a year, and it costs less than most streaming services. Head over to buymeacoffee.com/Weird Careers Podcast and start your 7-day free trial today. Thank you for supporting Weird Careers. Now, back to the show. Welcome back to Weird Careers with Eric and Steve. We're coming back in here from our break with Andy, comedian from Richland City, Indiana. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Glad to hear everybody's all refreshed now.
Well, here's hoping anyway. So Andy, what does the writing process look like for you? Like when you're like, say, like working on jokes or like maybe practicing or anything like that to get the routine down?
I've got several notebooks sitting around the house. One by the bed, one right here next to the couch I'm sitting on. I've
Nice.
always got my phone on me. So if an idea happens or something happens, I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. Immediately write it down because the biggest lie you ever tell yourself, especially after you hit my age in your late 40s, is, oh, I'll remember to write that down.
Yeah, no truer words have been said.
I feel that in my soul.
Yeah,
Or-
I'm very into that whole I'll remember it later fiasco, and it always bites me in the butt later on.
Mm-hmm.
It was at that exact moment he realized he would not remember.
Especially with cerebral palsy being a brain injury. My memory is pretty good, but sometimes not so good, just depending on fatigue and all that other stuff. So voice memos on my phone sometimes are good.
Yep.
That's what I'll use sometimes at open mics, is I'll just turn on the voice memo before I'm about to go up.
Okay.
And then I can go back and say, okay, that worked, that didn't work. You know, that way I don't like to video everything, because it seems like video takes up more space on your device than a audio file would.
Absolutely.
So, especially if it's an open mic and it's not going to be professionally recorded. Because you and I both know, if you go to record something with your phone on a tripod, the lighting may or may not be right. Your audio may or may not be right.
Yep.
You know, and that's the other reason why I'm super picky about what gets put online. Is because I want to make it. I want to make sure it sounds good. I want to make sure it looks good. I don't want to look like some hack just putting something up with my flip phone or something, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
So, question for you: when you're doing your like getting your ideas and like writing them down, notating them, however it is, do you find that like inspiration just kind of like hits randomly, or you'll get like a joke kind of like or something to work on just randomly throughout the day, or like waking up in the middle of the night, for example?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends. Sometimes I'll go days without anything kind of happening. I know a lot of people in America right now are kind of against AI, but I use it a little bit to help with writing prompts, kind of help get around that writer's block a little bit, you know.
Absolutely. It's, you know, AI is a tool.
Yeah.
You know, as, you know, that's a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're using it as a tool, not to actually write your jokes for you, right? So
I'm trying to develop material right now, because those are my initials. So I'm trying to yeah. I'm trying to see how I can work that into my act, since that's all anybody's talking about anymore. That's all.
That would be some dope material.
That's super
all
clever.
my Facebook feed is I'm like, people are talking about me a lot online.
Well, I will say that like your post where you said that you've been doing this for 10 years and now your gratitude towards everybody, that reached up here.
Yep.
Looking at, you know, a gig, you know, from booking the show to your applause at the end of the night, what does that entire process
Well, so for instance, I just reached out to a VFW that's literally right down the street from my house. And I'm like, hey, do you guys want to sell tickets at the door? Do you want to pay us a flat rate? You know, what do you want to do? And I guess they're an older VFW there, and they're like, we're kind of lazy. We don't want to sell tickets. What's your flat rate? So that means they're basically going to make the show free, or they may make it a nominal fee of like $5 or something.
Okay. What was that acronym you used? VFW?
Yeah, it's Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, they have little clubs around here for Veterans of Foreign Wars, and then they have American Legions for people that I'm not a veteran myself, so I couldn't tell you exactly how that's differentiated, but different clubs for different ways of how you served in the military, I guess.
Yeah, we've got legions here as well.
The Canadian Legion, the Royal Canadian Legion. Sorry.
Yeah, because I remember like growing up, I used to play punk shows at them back in Windsor.
Hey. So once you figure out those details, like how tickets are going to get sold, what kind of, you know, profit and what kind of pay are you looking at, or like what kind of cost are you looking at? What are the next steps? What does that look like?
Then I ask them about content. You know, is this going to be an 18 and over show, or are you going to want families to be there? You know, what day are we going to want to have this at? When are you going to want to start it? You know, because then that kind of lets me know, okay, who am I booking on the show with me? Because do you want clean comedy, or do you want, you know, not so clean comedy?
Yeah, exactly, for
Yep.
sure. So now that you've got that, what does prep look like? Once that's all solidified, everyone knows what they're expecting of each other. What's the prep look like? Do you have like a list of jokes that you pull from? Do you write new material?
So I've got a material that kind of always works that I use up top,
Mhm.
and then anywhere in the middle, if I'm the headliner doing 45 minutes to an hour, that's where I can stretch a little bit.
Okay.
I can do a little crowd work if I want to.
Mhm.
I can try new jokes if I want
Yeah.
to, and then do that for however long. And then once I realize I've got about 15 minutes to go or so, then I'll go back into the material that I know is going to work to wrap it up and put a nice little bow on it.
Right
Right
on.
on. Right on.
So is there a lot of rehearsal process? Like, do you have to do sound checks or like go over the material?
So of course, I get there early to sound check and make sure everything's like it should be. Especially if we're bringing our own gear and setting it up. This one's not the case because I paired up with this guy at the BFW that does karaoke.
Mhm.
So he's going to be doing his karaoke after the comedy show, which is going to encourage people to come as
Oh,
well because
nice.
Oh,
everybody
nice.
in this area loves that stuff. So I mean, I've got a pretty good idea of what I want to do, and then kind of in the moment kind of stuff may happen that
Yeah.
I want to deviate. So I mean, it's always a performance art, you
Of
know.
course, yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
I always want to tell people you can rehearse all that you want to, but you don't want to sound too robotic or too
Oh,
rehearsed
for
because
sure.
it's a performance art.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to get that personable kind of like persona across where it's not just kind of cut and dry time stuff all the time.
Yeah, and that's what you'll see new comedians do is they're so nervous that they'll rush through their stuff, or they'll,
Yep.
oh, I got to make sure to squeeze that in
Yep.
or whatever. And I always tell them it's no problem taking notes up if you're at an open mic because that's what you're there to do is
Mhm.
try out new material or try out what you wrote
Yep.
down. But if I'm putting you on a paid show, you should only have paperwork up there if you're like the host and you're
Mhm.
talking about their drink specials for the
Yeah.
night, or you want to mention
Yep.
something the bar wants you to mention, or if I'm putting you on a paid show, I don't want to see any kind of notes up there. Now I know professionals that use notes and whatever, but that's just how I do things.
For sure.
Yep.
So you've written all your material, you've done your sound check, you've picked your material for the show, you know what you're saying, that the sound's working okay, all your gear is working. You do the show, it's a great success. Everybody loves you, everybody's on their feet if they're able to get on their feet, and they're applauding you. What's next?
It's time to buy my merch. It's time to take photos, make sure they follow me on social media,
Mhm.
Nice, nice.
all that fun stuff.
Right on. And then is takedown pretty easy, or is that something that takes longer than setup, or vice versa?
It just kind of depends. It kind of depends if I've got somebody that's like I told you going to be running something after the fact, then
Yeah.
it's their responsibility.
Right.
If we're bringing our own gear, then I have a dedicated sound guy that does all that.
Oh, fancy.
So,
Awesome.
So
Now, when you're like doing merch and stuff, do you have like do you bring an extra person to run a merch table while you're performing, or is that just solely what you do afterwards?
So typically I'll either tap the host
Mhm.
or the sound guy to
Mm,
help me run that because the host is gonna plug it. Sometimes I want it plugged as part of the introduction. Sometimes I don't.
right.
So it just kind of depends on the venue kind of thing. Sometimes I bring my wife and she'll run it.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, nice, nice.
Get the whole family in.
But then I've got a nice piece of paper that's got a QR code for like my Venmo,
Oh,
Cash App,
nice. Makes it really
Oh,
easy.
right on.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That way, if people don't have cash on hand, it's pretty easy to just scan a code and pay that
Right.
way too. So
Now, what kind of merch do you generally have? Like, is it mainly just like T-shirts and stuff, or is there like CD live recordings or anything?
I've got can koozies that have been selling well for quite a while.
Ooh, nice.
And then I just came out with Fire Drill Reading Club stickers.
Okay.
Right on, right on.
And they look like the Pizza Hut bucket button.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love it.
because they're actually bringing that back here. We
Oh, really?
downloaded the app and like told them that our daughter, we read her so many books and whatever, and she went and got a cheese pizza. And, yeah.
Nice. That's
You need to
awesome.
bring that
Yeah.
stuff to Canada. You guys get lucky with that stuff. You guys
Yeah.
get all the fun stuff.
It'll come here in like 5 years
Yeah.
after that.
And then it won't be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Yep.
we're Canada is the one sibling that always gets everything last.
Yep.
You get all the hand-me-downs.
I mean, I did have t-shirts, but then I did some research and found out that canned koozies are easier because it's a one size fits all kind of thing. Same thing with a sticker. You know, you get somebody that comes to
Yeah.
the table and you don't have their t-shirt size, you just didn't make a sale.
Mm.
You know.
Yep. No, Steve and I have looked at t-shirts as well for because we've started to look into merch for our show as well. And t-shirts are expensive to make.
Yeah.
Holy
Especially if you print in color or anything like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So with your disability of cerebral palsy, do you find that impacts your job, or do you find it enhances it?
A little bit of both. It kind of depends how I'm feeling that day. You know, that can kind of amplify the symptoms, so to speak, or even just the weather outside. If it's, if it's cold, if it's really cold, if it's like now where it's like the seventh circle of hell outside and it's really hot. Down here we've got really bad humidity in the Midwest, and so we had a heat index of like 118 today, and I was like, not going outside if I don't have to, kind of thing. Yeah. So
yeah, it's a bit toasty.
Yeah, no, for sure. Do you find that, like, did you have any more boundaries or barriers to cross because of your disability at
I
all?
have to call ahead of time and make sure a place is going to be accessible, and if they've got a portable
for
ramp,
sure.
that they have it out for me ahead of time.
Right.
Any place I go to, whether it's just going out to eat somewhere, sometimes I'll call ahead and if you got one step, that means I may be taking the order to go instead of actually eating at the restaurant. So
exactly, that's one step too many.
Yeah, I know that's horrible.
So when you became a stand-up comedian, was there anything that surprised you about getting into the industry, like something that you didn't expect going into it?
The politics of it.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah.
true.
And sometimes somebody gets picked over somebody else because of who they know, and not necessarily if they're funny or not, kind of thing. So you kind of just have to put your pride aside sometimes and realize that you're not going to get picked for everything. And
sorry, do you find that happens a lot
in the bigger cities? Probably, like in Louisville. I don't think I've done a paid show in Louisville now for probably at least a year or so.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it's just because there's so much talent down there right now that they're giving opportunities to newer people, or people that they haven't seen before, or this or that, or whatever. So if my name comes up, cool, but if not, I just try not to get my feelings hurt over it.
Yeah, unfortunately, you just kind of have to roll with the punches as they come.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's being in the entertainment industry, right?
Yeah.
You miss most of the shots, but you got to take advantage and be grateful and be happy for the ones that you do get, because you don't know when the next gig's going to be.
Yeah, like right now, I've got one at a county fair on the 15th of August.
Oh, nice.
Which is probably going to be hot.
Yeah.
And then,
unfortunately,
then the next
I'll
one,
send some polar bears.
and then the next one's not until September. So sometimes they're few and far between, and sometimes I've got several weekends where the wife will be like, "Hey, can you at least not book yourself for a weekend or two and spend some time at home?"
For sure. Do you find that anything has changed in terms of ease in getting to places, getting your name out there? Have things changed in that regard from when you
Yeah,
started to where you are
I
now?
would say social media has become a bigger tool now than what it was when I first
Mhm,
started, as far as networking, getting your name out there. Like,
mhm.
never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be on a podcast produced in Canada. I mean, this is crazy, you know? Yeah, this is
Hey,
crazy.
welcome on.
You know, I mean, it's just that kind of thing. You know, I performed comedy at the Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois. You know, the home of
Oh,
Superman. So,
cool.
and there's people from all over the
Nice.
world that come to that.
Nice,
I've
nice.
met people from Canada, the UK, Australia. We actually got married there. We
Oh,
announced we were having our
wonderful.
Oh,
daughter
very
there.
nice.
She's named after Wonder Woman. So
Nice.
yeah. So
Love that. Love
Ooh,
yeah, I
that.
nice.
mean, it's just ease of access of being able to network. I think is a lot easier now than it was back then, because so many people use it now.
Hmm.
Going through a lot of your content, I see
Hmm.
Superman, because you mentioned Superman. Superman being a constant
Hmm.
in your posts. What does Superman mean to you?
Everything. I mean, if you look at what Christopher Reeve did for people with disabilities,
Mm.
I can only hope to do
Of course,
maybe a
yes.
quarter of that, you know, for people with disabilities through comedy, you know.
That's beautiful. I
Yeah.
love that. That's amazing.
What would you say is I guess, like the best part of being in the industry?
Getting to travel to places that I wouldn't go to otherwise.
Oh, nice. Like, yeah, it kind of sets up
Yeah.
those opportunities, right?
Yeah. Like 2 years ago, I went to West Virginia, and it was a horrible gig.
Oh
Awful,
no.
awful
Oh
gig.
no.
Like, one of the worst, you know. Drove 5 hours one way. Didn't even break even. Actually
Ooh,
lost money.
Oh,
Uh,
rough.
but got to see the mountains of West Virginia,
nice.
That's
you
pretty
know, and got
cool.
to see, oh wow, this is why John Denver, you know, wrote these songs, you know. And
Literally just had that song go through my
yeah,
Yeah,
brain.
same here.
and West Virginia is still using that slogan to this day. You know, it's all over
Yep.
trucks and signs, and I'm like, wow, we're still doing this. Oh, okay. But like that. I went down near the Cumberland Gap, which is also a mountainous area. So
Okay.
Mhm.
I got to see that, you know, being able to see places in the country that I hadn't seen before and getting paid to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty cool.
Do you have a favorite place that you've seen?
Um, West Virginia was up there for sure,
Mhm.
because I'd never seen that before.
Yep.
Um,
Mhm.
St. Louis, because I hadn't seen that since I was a kid. So
Mm,
seeing the arch and all that kind of
Nice.
stuff was kind of cool again.
nice.
Um,
Mhm.
you know, just being able to see major landmarks that I hadn't seen in a while, being able to see those again, being able to be in the driver's seat this time rather than in the back, and actually being able to see what's going on,
Yep.
you know.
That'd be
So
awesome.
yeah, kind of neat.
Oh, it sounds amazing to be able to do that, especially like you said, being paid to go and see places.
Yeah,
It sounds phenomenally cool.
yeah.
Now, what would you say is there like a biggest downfall in the industry, like kind of like the polar opposite of that?
Um, Most of the time, I try to make sure there's somebody there with me to travel with me at all times.
Right.
A lot of comedians don't get that luxury, so you're spending a lot of time by yourself listening
Mm,
to podcasts like what you guys have, or whatever people
Hey.
want to listen to, you know. But you spend a lot of time on the road. You spend a lot of time away from your family, away from
Mhm.
the things that you know you care about,
yep.
to try to get your name out there and try to put a little money in your pocket at the same time. So
No, I get that 100%.
yeah.
For sure. Do you have any tips or advice for anybody who wants to become a stand-up comic?
Go to an open mic. Try it. You're gonna suck. I mean, anytime you try to do something for the first time, unless you have some God-given talent that nobody knows about, you know you're gonna suck the first couple times you try to do it.
Yep.
It's what I'm trying to explain to my kid right now. She's trying to learn how to read. I'm like,
Mm.
English is hard. Like it's going to take a little bit, and you're not going to get it right the first time. But if you keep trying,
Yep.
it's eventually going to work itself out.
Exactly.
Yeah, the whole practice makes perfect, testing
Yeah.
the waters kind of thing.
Yeah. And,
No, Steve. Practice makes better.
yep. And I mean, that's with anything in life. I've been able to do things with a disability that I never thought I'd do. Own a house, have a
Right.
family, drive a car. All this
Incredible.
stuff that some people with disabilities don't get to do. So I'm very, very blessed to be able to do the things that I do.
So Andy, if you didn't get into stand-up comedy, what career path would you have taken?
I kind of already did.
What was that?
Information technology.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, I messed around with computers a lot when I was younger. I had a Commodore 64 back in the day that was pretty cool.
Ooh, right on.
Nice.
So
Did you hear they're bringing those
yeah,
back?
I saw that too.
What?
Yeah, a guy bought out the Commodore 64 brand and everything, and they're working on bringing it back as a whole new like computing device again.
Yep, that'd be pretty cool. Yep. I got one for
That's
I got one
amazing.
for Christmas
That's
in like
amazing.
1988, and it took up the
Nice.
whole desk and everything. It was
Well, we are getting close to the end here. But before we get there, we have one more question to ask. This is something we've asked everybody since season 1, episode 1. Andy, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Where did I want to be when I grew up? Just somebody that made a difference, somebody that whether it was solving problems, with a computer or making somebody laugh. If somehow my presence, like after meeting me or talking with me, you had a smile on your face, that's the only thing I tried to do.
Nice.
I love that. That's incredible. And it has been absolutely awesome being able to sit down and chat with you today, Andy. I have learned a lot about behind the scenes of being a stand-up comic.
Yep.
And thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, it's been phenomenally incredible.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks so much for listening. Have you ever thought about your career? Do you think it would be worth a chat with us? If you think that you or someone you know may have a weird career, shoot us an email at weirdcareerspodcast@gmail.com. You may be surprised just how interesting your job is.
You can also support us on buymeacoffee.com. For $9 a month, you will get early access to episodes, sitting in on interviews, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. It's cheaper than most streaming services, and you will be supporting a small local business. Donations are never expected, but are always appreciated.
Oh, and don't forget to follow us on the socials, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Weird Careers Podcast. Until next time, I'm Eric.
And I'm Steve.
And remember to follow your dreams.